Tommy, thanks again for joining me today. It's the first chance we've had to chat about Telford from last week, and it was good to see Ponch getting on the score sheet. What were your views of the game?
Well, we're all delighted for any of our strikers to get off the mark. That said, I think the output he's given us in the few games we've played so far without a goal was good enough from my point of view. It's the icing on the cake for the lad. If there was any anxiety, which I don't think there was, then that should be gone now, and hopefully he can push on from that. It's like I said, new club, new player. That monkey off your back is a sort of, it's something that people talk about outside the building, but we didn't really talk about it inside. The fact that he scored in a game where we won makes it even better, and I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. But we're contributing from all areas of the pitch, which is really, really important. If you're going to win games, you can't just rely on strikers. You have to have other people chipping in, literally. And the skip did it again on Saturday, and of course Tyler's popped up with one from the set play. So yeah, it was a really good afternoon, and made the long trip home all that bit easier.
Like you say, the goals are coming from everywhere, which is quite a nice thing to see from sort of a team point of view. But while the scorers are grabbing the headlines, one we've conceded in 4 games? We were really disappointed with that, and we probably focused on it a little bit too much for a little bit too long after the game. But the fact that we turned that game around to win as well was really pleasing. These are all tick boxes you have to try and mark off as you go along at the beginning of a new season. It's getting a home win, getting an away win, coming back from behind. And like you said, we've conceded 1 goal so far, and it wasn't in fluid play, so that's something we're holding on to. But yeah, at the end of the day, we now focus on the next game, which is at home to Leamington, and our full focus will be on Saturday, although we will have another game within 48 hours of the finish of that one. We'll be off again at Peterborough. Just thinking about sort of the defence side of it, I mean, Adam Crowder's settled in nicely. You must be pleased with the development there. But with Carl coming back into the fray, what's your thought processes on how that will fit together?
Well, I think you haven't got to forget the amount of time that Kyle's been out of the game. So it's going to take him a little while to get back to full match fitness, but he's already in and around the group on the training ground now, which is really good to see. And he's fitted in seamlessly there, as you can imagine. But young Tyler Knowles and Ty Fleming have been adequate in terms of their availability to me, and in case we've needed somebody to step in, I would have had no qualms about putting them on the pitch. So from that point of view, they've done themselves no harm at all. But we're just very mindful of it's always a very hectic schedule in August, but it doesn't get any easier in September with the FA Cup coming in. So we're mindful of how we look after the players day to day and game to game. And 1 or 2 have had knocks and bruises and stuff like that, but touch wood, at this moment in time, I've got a good, clean bill of health.
Thinking about those games, I mean, you touched on Leamington. What does that present to you as far as planning is concerned?
Well, our planning for that game started on the way home from Telford, to be honest with you. We obviously had them looked at, and we've looked at trends that they're positive on, and obviously ones that they've conceded or have struggled on possibly. So we also know that there's no easy games in this level. All the teams are very well structured, they're very well organised. The people who run the teams know what they're doing, and the lads who are playing are generally experienced at this level at least. So whether they come at us or whether they come and don't come at us, we've got to break them down eventually. So from that point of view, our focus has been on us more than on them, but we give them the respect that they deserve, and we make sure that we're on point as to what we know they're good at, because they've got some good players in their side.
And then Peterborough on the Monday, I mean, that's obviously got a local tension. Michael Gash always seems to surface around Kings Lynn with the fans.
Yeah.
Does that change your planning, your sort of thought process? Is that quick turnaround?
I'd say no, but ultimately the rest of the staff have got half a mind on certain things. If there have been lads carrying knocks that have taken them a couple of 3 days to get from playing the game back to training, that might come a little bit too soon. But we've had all sorts of discussions this week about picking a team for Leamington, picking a team for Peterborough before the Leamington game. But it's difficult when you're in the run of form that we're in. It's difficult to change. At the end of the day, we said it before, if it isn't broken, you don't have to fix it. And ultimately, I'm sure Leamington will have an eye on what we've done in the 4 games we've played, and they'll be preparing accordingly. So we're not going to surprise them in that much, I wouldn't have thought.
You mentioned the fitness side of things, and sort of as I walked in today, Hugo and Mark were talking about how being here at the Hive has helped the fitness of the players, more on the focus on energies and sort of general turnaround of the players. Is that helping in recovery ways?
Hugely, hugely. I mean, having everything on the one site where we train is immeasurably different to where we were last year. You know, we were running from site to site. If we were ever going to do anything like preparation before, you know, your prehab and your rehab is all on one spot. So we've got the use of a pool here and the gym. Facilities are second to none, to be honest with you. And the staff here at the Hive have been so welcoming and so helpful to us that they also deserve a bit of credit for the way we've started, because they're all very interested in it. They're not football fans, a lot of them, but they've become football fans, which is really good, because I said this last season when we started winning games, even where we were in the league last year, people want to come and watch teams who win football matches, and we've done that, or we're doing that, and hopefully we can continue it, and people who have already come out and watched us already might bring a friend or two to swell the numbers.
You touch on that. I mean, it's obviously a big sort of end to the month for the whole of Kingsland Town Football Club, because we've got the Youth Cup, we've got the ladies now getting into their stride of the games. How much does that fan base mean? You know, how can we take that to the next stage and get people coming more and more, do you think?
Well, there's people employed and work for the football club with better ideas than I, but ultimately if all 3 teams are winning and people want to come and watch football, there's nothing better than watching winning football. So I know the ladies didn't get off to a great start in terms of the result on Saturday, but by all accounts they did very well down at Luton. So, you know, we'll take an interest in the ladies, and I hope our supporters do, as well as the kids, obviously. So I'll definitely be at the youth game on Wednesday evening, watching our hopefully next generation, if you like. So I think the fact that we've got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 now on registrations through the under-23s and Alex and his pathway, then it's really important that they're supported as much as the first team are. But Saturday, first and foremost, it's really important we fill the place, you know, with not just people but with noise. Our fans away from home are unbelievably enthusiastic, and also the people at home, but it's up to them to get to us to get them off the seats, and so hopefully we can keep on the right track.